Howdy. Okay, so I want to go back to the roots today and actually talk to you about not just investments in the sense of the financial sense of the word, but also in the life aspects of it. And today in particular, I'm actually really referring to the insurance of food. So I'm going to take you through a little quick tour of my garden. I am no gardener at all. I literally just started this last year. I am winging it. I am trying to make it work from, one plant to the next. I have in my process, I've realized that you actually needed almost a degree in every single plant that you're trying to grow, no matter what it is that you are trying to grow. But the reason why I wanted to actually do this is I foresaw that there is a possibility of food shortages. It has happened throughout history, and there's no reason to believe that it couldn't happen again. If you study history and if you study how these events occur, it looks like we might be gearing up for some kind of major event. I don't want to be fear mongering. I don't want to be scaring anyone into thinking that we're definitely going to have a food shortage, but it's kind of consider it again like an insurance. So the same way how you would make financial decisions to insure your house, insure your car, insure your life, why not do the same for food? So I'm going to show you a little quick tour. It doesn't have to be expensive. You don't have to splash out and purchase the most extravagant fruit and vegetables. Just do what you can. And the way that I look at it is that this is going to be a 10-year process. The first year, you're going to probably fail absolutely miserably. If you get 3 tomatoes out of your garden, hey, that was actually pretty good. And next year, you're just going to get better and better and better. You're going to start learning from your previous mistakes. And the one thing that I actually realized in particular was, you always see these garden shows, and they're always like, oh, and they eat it straight out the ground, take a carrot, they take a bite, and like, oh, it's so tasty. I always thought that was a lot. But so for me, the whole idea was actually just for that food insurance, just to make sure that we actually have some food, and also try to do it a bit organically in the process. But I had no idea that the food really does taste better. So why would we want to actually go back to grocery stores? So if I can be completely self-sufficient, that is definitely the way. But now, obviously, in your first year, you're not going to be food self-sufficient at all. But the way I look at it is, even if the amounts of food that you get out of your first year of production is only 2 days, let's just say you grew a few potatoes, a few tomatoes, and that gave you 2 days worth of supply to feed your family. Well, 2 days might be the difference of food, might be the difference between life and death. So this is the food insurance that I'm actually referring to. So let me actually take you in a little quick. So what I've actually also been doing, I've actually been collecting some wood. This is for some firewood, or for any kind of wood that actually, if there is a gas shortage and we need to heat our houses, well, this is our next best option. So it's not just food, but it's actually any kind of resources that you can get your hands on that will extend your chances of actually survival. Now again, I don't want to be fear mongering. I don't want to be scaring you into the idea that we're definitely going to be experiencing food shortages, but this is something that I've actually kind of been predicting. Again, if you look at the history of events throughout society, these events occur, it happens very quickly, and it is a horrific event. You don't want to be caught in a situation that you have no food for your family, and even actually your neighbors, because at the end of the day, not only do you have to have enough food for your own family, you actually need enough food for your neighbors. This is actually very key. This is extremely important. Why do you have to have enough food for your neighbors? And you also have to encourage your neighbors to be doing the same thing. You need enough food for your neighbors also, because if there's one valuable thing that I learned after finishing my military service, was realizing that men on an empty stomach are not the same as men with a full stomach. You might think that you will never do a certain activity. You may never kill a loved one, or kill a sibling, or you could never harm someone to get some food in your belly. But trust me, this has happened throughout history. There's hundreds of recordings of it. People will do things that you will never expect. So why do you need to have enough food for your neighbors? Because if you are the one with the food, trust me, you are a target. So you need to be encouraging your neighbors to be doing the same thing. And this is the whole purpose of decentralization. So we could be in one little hub. My neighbor could be another hub. My other neighbor could be another hub. We could be growing tomatoes. They could be growing potatoes. We could be doing a little mini bartering amongst ourselves. So forget finances after a food shortage. It really doesn't matter how much money you have. At the end of the day, food is key. That is the first layer of survival. Obviously, oxygen and water would probably be the number one. But after that, you're going to need food to survive if you want to go forward for days on, and if you want to try to beat the food shortage. So let me take you through a little tour. So over here, we have here is, look at this amazing blueberry tree. We've already half divided. I mean, we've taken already like maybe a good 70% of what the blueberries were on this tree. It is one of our favorite fruits, and we thought, you know what, let's actually get it. If it doesn't produce any blueberries, then, so be it. It's a pretty little bush, and we'll just have it for decoration. But to our surprise, it's just produced so much blueberries, it's actually quite shocking. So another thing that I actually wanted to talk about was that, again, it doesn't have to be expensive. We picked up this compost bin. Again, we're trying to do everything organic. We're trying to be self-sufficient in the sense of like don't want to be purchasing fertilizers and all that. So we're actually doing our own little compost bin over here. We picked this one up used for, I think it was like £10. Like that is like nothing. We picked up this greenhouse for free. It's obviously not in use right now because we've already done most of the growing in it. We're trying to propagate some bamboo here. You never know when you're going to need some bamboo. We've got a little parsley and some rocket just for some salad ingredients. We've just started this, so we're waiting for this to grow. We're obviously going to repot it because at the moment this is just, again, this is like I think this was a grape thing. So we're trying to use everything used. We're trying to minimize the amounts of things that we have to purchase. So again, it doesn't have to be expensive. Just do what you can to get the garden going. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't spend a splash out. If you feel that you want to, you can. We just had some rain come through. So here's the tomato bushes. In fact, we've actually got to stick this up. I'm actually going to do that after this video. And so here's the tomato bushes. We've got tiny little tomatoes starting to grow in this. We've got some beetroots over here. We've got some carrots underneath the tomato bush that's fallen on top of it. We've got another blueberry bush over here. We've picked all the blueberries off this one, so you won't see any over there. What else do we have? We had some garlic inside over there somewhere. I've just picked up these potatoes. So this is actually quite an interesting story. My neighbor was actually throwing out this, what was it? It was a barbecue, little barbecue pit. And I thought, again, just utilize whatever you got. So I asked, since she's throwing it out, can I take it from her? She was happy for us to take it. And I just threw in some soil, threw in some sawdust, put a few potatoes, and I've only picked out half of it. But I mean, these are the potatoes that we've got. And look, it's nothing. It's again, that's going to get us through. I mean, maybe a day, maybe 2 days worth of food. But again, it's still better than nothing. And I haven't even actually cleared out the other half of the potato pile. So over here we've got some more blueberries. As you can see, we got I don't know if you can see that, but we've got some more blueberries busy growing there. And what else do we have? Let's have a look. I've just bought a few bushes. So here we've got a blackberry bush. This tree was pretty amazing. I thought, I never had gooseberry. Let me actually just buy some gooseberries. So this is actually quite amazing because all it was last year was just a tiny little stick. It just came up to there. It was just this tiny little stick. Bought it for £1, and I stuck it in the ground, and all these branches started growing out. And this year we actually, I wish I had actually done the video before I picked them, but this tree was filled with gooseberries, like absolutely filled with gooseberries. And I mean, it was at least a handful. I mean, it wasn't anything that, would have fed a family, but considering that I bought it for £1 and all this grew just in 1 year, so who knows what we're going to get next year. But I got to eat gooseberries this year. Something new, something different. And it's just going to keep going from there. Here we're actually growing some peanuts. I mean, like, did you know that you can actually grow peanuts from an actual peanut? Here it is here. Absolutely incredible. Now, is it going to produce peanuts? I'm not sure. Again, so this is the trial and error. Just start now and figure it out as you go along. What else have we got? We got some raspberry here. We were able to pick some raspberries from this one. Again, excuse the camera work. The camera work is a little shocking, so I'm still trying to figure this one out. And what do we have here? So here we got black currants. Again, this was just a stick. This black currant was just up to there. Just this one stick. That was last year. All this grew out in a 1.5 year period. That was it. Absolutely incredible. This blackberry bush, black currant bush. So this black currant bush here, we actually bought as a bush. We paid, I think it was like about £12 for this bush, and we paid £1 for this tiny little stick. This tiny little, forget this, none of this was here. This tiny little stick, that was it. Just one tiny little stick, and all this grew out from there. So Again, you don't have to splash out. You could spend the 10, 12, 15 pounds, whatever it was that we bought this blackberry bush for. But why do that? I mean, unless you're in absolute desperation. But again, just the point that I'm trying to make is that you don't have to splash out a ton of money. So on this side, somebody was actually throwing us some wood. And I thought, why not actually make a little raised bed? So here we go. So I actually made it a few weeks ago, put it together, put in some beetroot seeds, some carrot seeds. Somebody was tossing out some pots, so we just collected them all. And so here we've got like a little garden area. So here, we've got a cherry tree. This grew from seed. And check how big it is now. Just absolutely incredible. So is it going to produce cherries? No clue. But trial and error. Anyway, so the nutshell is just give it a go. You don't want to be caught in a situation that you have no food for yourself or your family. Trial and error. Start somewhere, get going. If you have the money to splash out, go for it. If you don't, that's okay too. Anyway, that's all I want to share with you.
Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to the internet. Say hi. My name is Greg. Leave a comment below. Like, share, subscribe. And I guess I will see you around.